Yo, what's up, world? It's your bro Hood. I'm hollering at y'all again from my studio here at hoodfilms.com. This is where I rock and roll. This is where I do a lot of the work I come up with in the movies that you see. I get to write, I get to create, I get to direct. I'm in this chair sometimes 18, 19 hours a day. Uh, I got some rest because earlier today I was yarning like every goddamn 3 minutes. I said the word, I'm yarning again. But I think that's just me being nervous because I don't usually be on camera. But I hope y'all having a great New Year's. I hope y'all got plans for the New Year's. What are y'all plans for the New Year's? Matter of fact, like and subscribe to this page so that you can see me talk to y'all a lot more about things that's going on in my life, things going on in the film world, things going on in America. This the brand. This is it. Look how clean that look. Hood Films. You can see it right there. I created this brand. I created this idea of there could be a hood film. I made a lot of money from it. I'm constantly making money from it. I make money when I sleep from it because people buy the stuff. They continue to buy the products. They buy my movies. They buy my digital products. And I'm just really happy about all that, man. So we continue to build a brand. We continue to build it. I also got different brands too, like CBD Film Festival. I'm about to be richandfamous.com. I own Hood the Filmmaker LLC. I own, well, a lot more YouTubes and filmmakers. Like I got another YouTube called The No Boss Life where I talk about a lot of entrepreneur work and entrepreneur stuff and how to stay a boss. So I just really got on here to see what y'all doing for the New Year because today is New Year's Eve. So I want to know what y'all got planned for the day, like what's going on in your world, like how y'all kicking it for the New Year. And I want you to get in the comment box and I want you to leave me a comment and let me know what y'all doing for the New Year. What you sipping on? Do you sip at all? How you liking the New Year? What you got planned for the New Year? Like what you gonna do next year when it kick off? Are you gonna jump into a workout plan? Are you going to start a new business? Are you gonna make a creation that you said you was gonna do but you never got around to? Let me know. Let me know what y'all gonna do. So what I'm currently doing, watching a movie, and I'm also talking to you, and I'm smoking, and I'm drinking, and I'm sipping, and shit like that, because it's New Year's Eve. I just got through watching that movie, The Purge, the beginning, and I had to remember seeing the movie, but I forgot how everything played out in it, so I wanted to see the movie again for some reason. And so I'm gonna give a little review of the movie right here, right now. It came out in like 2018, and it was directed by a Spanish person. But the movie was like a lot of black people was in it, and I was just that's what made me remember it. That the Purge had a lot of black people acting in the movie. Cause I was always like, why did they do that? So I wanted to see this movie in the Purge, the beginning one, which is the most recent one. And a lot of the stuff that was going on in that movie was like it was kind of disrespectful to black people. Like I didn't like how they started it. Everybody black was like, "Yeah, motherfucker," and we got a goddamn. You could tell that they don't understand us. That everybody got to be this over the top, ignorant Sambo type of nigga. But I studied filmmaking and I studied the black area of filmmaking, like what it took for black people to get into filmmaking. I even studied theater and I studied how theater got started. Like theater was started in Africa. Black people would have a funeral and they would go to the person's house and dance and sing to keep them cheered, and they would cheer all the way to the funeral where they buried the human and cheer the parent back to the house so that they feel good. That was seen by white folks, and they took that idea and turned it into theater. And basically, theater was them going on stage mimicking the blacks that they saw in the slave quarters, because when they used to go to the slave quarters, they be having these black folks in bondage and slavery, but they still hear them laughing and giggling, and they didn't understand how. And when they would creep back down, look and see the blacks back there performing with each other, laughing and hanging out, they didn't understand why. Like how the hell are they having fun? But the black people were mimicking the slave masters. So the black people were playing as how the slave masters was acting around them, where they were enslaved, and that's how theater and acting and all that came about. That's what I studied, and I studied a few professors underneath that over the years, and that knowledge led me to understanding Sometimes you see how black people act in movies or how they want them to act in movies, and it's kind of like that. But you already know this, so I'm not really telling you something that you already know. I'm telling you about the subtle ways that it show up. That's what really I'm talking about. Like, hiring a black person to be in a movie and just so that they can outsmart him. And then you can look at a movie now and even see it happening so prevalently. Like they'll say, okay, I got a plan. And you already know by watching the movie that they got to outsmart somebody. This new thing, like they going to see a security guard or they going to see a boss or school teacher, whoever. And then, but you haven't seen this person yet. You just know that they got to go meet this person. So they go there. As soon as they got to go there, whoever this person is, the person that got to be outsmarted is a black person. I don't give a fuck what kind of actor or mother, a female man. So it was a lot of people in this particular movie, Purge, where they was just like dumb niggas. You know what I'm saying? Or like for instance, it started off, even the first scene was a story, was a photo or a video of a black man talking like, yeah, man, I don't care because I'm crazy. And I do all kind of crazy shit, motherfucker. I want to purge myself. And a white guy sitting there like, purge. What an interesting word. Now, that particular scene is how the movie starts. Literally like that. And so I thought about that. I said, so let's really go back. Is the black guy in the real world this crazy nigga like, yeah, I'm trying to purge, I'm gonna kill somebody? Or is that really white people who just bombed the motherfucking place in Nashville a few goddamn days ago? This is the reality that we live, but when you watch the movie, it's totally not what reality is. And they got a thing in filmmaking called suspension of disbelief. So suspension of disbelief means that you'll stop thinking that you don't believe what's going on. So if you see Superman flying, you're gonna accept it. You're not gonna say, wait a minute, motherfucking man don't fly. Or if you see Spider-Man climbing the side of a wall, you're gonna believe it for the sake of the movie. You're gonna suspend your disbelief. You act like, okay, I'm not gonna act like I disbelieve. I know it's not real, but it's for the sake of the movie. And so, but they don't do that in these movies. So it's supposed to be like, so for the suspension of disbelief, I'm supposed to disbelieve that black people are this crazy, and I'm just watching this movie. That's not real though. So it's like a really, really touchy kind of thing. And then as the movie progressed, he meet a young guy who's from the hood, and he out there trying to fit in and shit. And he's scared. It's his first few days out on the street, but this guy's a crackhead from the hood, so he walk up on the dude like, yeah, little nigga, I see you out here. You trying to get your money and hang with them niggas over there. Give me a free bag of crack or drugs, whatever they were selling. And he told the dude, I ain't giving you shit. Get the fuck out of here. And the dude sliced the kid with a razor across his face. So they go after the guy now. The guys hunt the young boys trying to hunt this cat, this killer down for scratching him with a knife, and so that's the new movie that they got going now. So the kid is chasing after this guy. So it's basically like three different stories going, and all three of these stories kind of intertwine, and they all are kind of like by the time you get to the end of the movie, all of the people come together of the three main characters that we was watching this movie, and so then you also got the Purge going. So the Purge is also like a fourth story going, and they kind of like bouncing and intertwining through this whole thing. So, I actually did like the movie, but some of the beginning characteristics of how they played the black people, I hated it, and it was like, damn, that's what I remembered about the movie, and that's why it's been out for like 2 years, and I want to watch it again, because I was like, I remember this movie, but I just had to see it again for myself. Like, did they really do this shit in this damn movie? And they really did. So the guy who directed it was a Spanish human, and so I'm sure he felt like he did a good job. That he was trying to, what they did to try to redeem themselves. Because a lot of times in these white movies, you have to understand how to add these elements into your film in order for white folks to really support your story, because it's a hierarchy in America. It's a hierarchy among humans. So in order to show somebody in a light that's less than who they are, other people will pick up on this shit. Like if you did this to the Jewish community, they'd pick up on it right away and fucking castigate your film. Or just a few years ago, I saw this Asian kid did a documentary or a movie. I think it was more like a documentary on Chapo, El Chapo, and he tried to show the movie in Chicago in the Spanish community. the movie that he directed, not one Spanish motherfucker came to that. Not one Mexican came to that theater, and it made the news that he directed this film, and not one human came up. And the people went down there and filmed that guy at the theater and said, "What happened?" He's an Asian phenotype, and they was like, "What happened?" And he was like, "I don't know." And they was like, "Well, you gonna bring the movie back?" He was like, "Well, not here, but I'm gonna keep traveling around the country with it." And I said to myself, why didn't them Spanish people show up to see that? Because they don't believe what he put in the movie. They don't believe that he even got the right to even talk about El Chapo like that. So they was like, "Who the fuck are you? You don't got no right. You ain't even Mexican." Because in their culture, they probably would have never did it. They probably would have thought, "Oh, the mafia gonna come get us," or some shit like that. I'm not sure, but he didn't. They didn't support that guy as a director for his film about El Chapo. So it's the same thing about this. Like, should we be supporting these movies? So as I'm further along going, and this is the beginning of the movie. This is like they setting you up. The story is setting up. So as they go along, showing how ignorant and dumb these black folks is acting in this movie that they directed and got in their script. The first person they do to redeem it's like shit on niggas and then redemption. So the redeeming character was Van Jones. Van Jones was married to a white lady. He get up there, he talking all sophisticated and to the white people in the movie who's like the doctor or the person who came up with the purge. And he's asking them the CNN style questions. They even give Van Jones extra time because for me, as a person watching the movie, I'm like, I don't want to see no fucking questionnaire. What kind of dumb shit is this? So they gave him like a 2 or 3 questionnaire because they wanted to say, hey, we want to show that this is something that is being educated and is learned, and we're gonna give us an insight from the movie about what the purge was to make it seem more sophisticated and real. But when you look at the characteristics of the blacks before they got to that scene, it was like, black motherfuckers don't act like that. Don't know niggas really kick it like that. And then the main character is like a 50 Cent reject. Even in his face, he looked like he wanted to be 50 Cent, or he could have been a 50 Cent motherfucking stunt guy or some shit like that. So I ain't dissing him, but I'm just saying you could see that kind of casting went into the story idea. You know what I mean? So I watched the whole movie, and I wanted to get down to seeing, in my opinion, why did they kind of bring some of those characteristics out of those guys in the movie. So what they tried to do to redeem themselves again, because I told you it's like this the nigga, treat him shitty, and then redemption. So what they did in the movie to bring up redemption was they actually set up a scene later in the movie where the guys had to fight the KKK. So this is crazy. So how they did the scene is they had some smoke or whatever hit the ground. I guess like one of those those canisters and shit if they gonna blind you or whatever with the smoke. And then all of a sudden our main characters who we have been watching come in and start stabbing them up about 5 or 6 KKKs. They kill them up real bad. And it's like, oh, fuck, like they redeemed. So I was wondering to myself, is that how they did the redemption? Like, set up payoff, but it was a set up payoff, not in a traditional way where it's a story mechanic, but it was more like a set up payoff where it is, we know we treating these characters like some niggas, in our opinion, what niggas are. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have them kill some KKK, so you could see they really had to do all of that shit to begin it so that they can get to this part where they can redeem themselves and kill some KKK members. So it just made me laugh and shit. I'm not dissing the movie. But as a black person, when you see films, you're going to pay attention to the characters that look like you. Not only are you going to pay attention to the characters that look like you, you're going to pay attention to their motivations. What's making them tick in the movie? How does that reflect you? For instance, if you watch a movie and it has a white man in it, majority of the time that's an elderly white guy. Most times. Liam Neeson's of the world. Fucking Mel Gibson's. The Brad Pitts. These guys are 50 and above. Why am I saying that? Because they'll give you these characters. They'll have bald spots, wrinkles in their face, fucking liver spots, all kind of shit. But we're still supposed to assume that's a heartthrob That's somebody to look at. The girl should want this guy. But in reality, the person look really fucked up. Then it's just the old, beat up body look ridiculous. And it's like, this who the people be. We supposed to be. I'm cheering for this guy to win in this movie. I'm looking forward for this Wahlberg guy to fucking control the world or fix the this situation in the story. And while I'm not dissing it, the fact of the matter is that they want to continue to keep those characteristics like that's a leading man. But when it comes to us, black dudes got on a fucking security guard outfit, looking like a goddamn twerp, scared all the fucking time. My father used to show us about the movies that we used to watch when we was kids, how all the time the black guys are so fucking afraid. They did a joke about this later in my life and in Living Color. So it was just funny. That's my teenager kicking it in the back room. This New Year's Eve, so they video gaming it. So it just made me think about that shit, man, and I want to hit y'all with that. Hit y'all with that because it made me say, like, God damn, why are they playing to people like this? And we get through it. We watch this shit as black folks, and we just barrel through it. We don't even fucking complain. You don't see, like, black people writing in, hey, the way they had the background character in this movie was not ideal to how we feel in our characteristics as a black culture. So we just accept that shit sometimes. But my father used to call that shit subliminal suggestions. So it would be like, it's not exactly true, but it's subliminally hitting and planted in your mind, and it's suggestive that that's something that's reality for you, and it really ain't. It's just somebody wrote that shit in the story, and they acted that shit out. The Purge stood for way bigger, larger thing about crime and getting away with crime and people coming to black neighborhoods, hurting them as militias. That played out big time in 2020 with the fact of George Floyd dying and people want to hurt people and coming back and just having the trouble that of reflecting around America. So these movies we kind of almost be like little statements to say, hey, this can be accepted in the world. That's why it's very important for black people to make movies and make stories and tell stories so that our stories get out there and then it can put a suggestion in a young person's mind that they can expand further. Because even a movie like Black Panther, while we all love that movie, it was not real. There is no Wakanda. There is no black experience or no black utopia nowhere in the world. It's only ghettos and grimy shit in the hoods and fucked up neighborhoods that anytime you get $20, you get the fuck away from the black community. And so that's just our reality as a community. So it's hard to look at these movies and say, oh, when I was a kid watching, what's that nigga name? The Cosby Show, they was all on some, oh man, that's unrealistic. That's not real. That's not how the families is, but we want to keep it like that so families can become that. And families did become that. It was a fucking middle class as I grew up, you know what I'm saying? And now they claiming the middle class don't exist no more. So, you know, I think that we got to tell stories that we can. I mean, because could you imagine a bunch of white guys being hired to be in a black movie where they're going to play themselves less than what we always notice white people in movies being? Like they're going to be the laughing stock. Like you're going to get them in the movie and they're not going to be somebody who got respect. Like we're going to walk up on a white guy to be like, yeah, let's go. Hey, go over there by him. He'll never get it. They do that in movies, but it's so less. It's so small. You don't even see that in films that much. If a black person hire a white guy to be in a movie, the white guy probably got a powerful position, just like in my movie, Kill a Rapper. The one white guy that's in the movie is a fucking doctor that the whole movie kind of wrap around. So I'm not pointing the finger. I'm just saying that this is just how it goes in our culture. We psyched out psychologically to create this shit because you want to be accepted. You don't want to come out with that movie. It's like, hey, let's make a movie where all white people disappear. They not in existence no more. You don't see fucking movies like that. You know what I'm saying? That I remember watching Twilight Zone as a kid, and they had the last man on Earth, and it was a white guy as the last man on Earth in that Twilight Zone episode. You can Google that motherfucker if you think I'm kidding. Let me close my door. teenagers, the more I block, the more his ass get loud and shit. Fucking teenagers, what you do? The boy go off to college next week, so I gotta just goddamn put up with this shit. And I had been a teenager myself, and I didn't realize I was such a fucking rascal to my father. But when you get you some, that's when you start realizing, like, what the fuck? And he told me, "Can I use your car? I'm finna go out with my friends." So I went to him and I was like, "Look, now they be shooting shit out here. You finna go to an area where it's like, it's grimy over there." And he like, "Oh, don't talk to me. Leave me alone. I want to talk to you. Don't tell me. Don't give a fuck about what you. I'm 18. I've been on these streets." I'm like, I said, "Okay." Then about 20 minutes ago, "Hey man, I ain't even gonna ride the car. I'm cool. I ain't going nowhere." I could have hit the motherfucking streets 2, 3 hours ago while you sitting up here trying to figure it out. But this parental shit, so you gotta just do what you gotta do. He ain't in no trouble. He ain't out here fucking around getting in no shit. So I'm happy. When I was his age, I was wrapped up in all kind of wild ass shit. That's why I'm wild as fuck today, hollering at y'all about this brand I call Hood Films, chatting to you about racial shit, which most people don't want to do that because you can get ostracized and all these things that they do. But you can't blackball me or ostracize me because I'm self-made. I own Hood Films. So that means when I get up and go create me a film, I'm going to give it to you. And can't nobody get in my way. Can't nobody jump in there and say, "I'm not going to talk to you no more because you did this." I can play like, kiss my ass, get your bitch ass away from me because I do what the fuck I want to do. This is what I own. Hood Films is trademark. It's on my neck. On my motherfucking neck, nigga. It's on my neck. On the other side, too. I did that because I was like, I love this shit. And I've been at the trademark for 10 years now. I'm grateful. To G-O-D, above, baby. So, that being said, man, I just want to highlight y'all about that movie. It's a movie, I agree, that was a good storyline. It was a good movie. But it definitely had rubbed me wrong in several ways. I told you how they tried to redeem themselves with the KKK part of it. But sometimes I recognize that in movies, all movies, it don't matter what it is. It could be any kind of film, even love stories. I even watched the movie Doom from 1984 when I was 11 years old. I watched that about 2 days ago. They did that with the black character in that. Literally, you saying black character in Doom? What the fuck, black dude was in Doom? Again, when you're a black person, you're gonna see these people. You're gonna find them. You're gonna be searching through the whole fucking movie till one pop up. And it was a black dude in Doom. He was kicking it with the fucking emperor that was sitting in a chair that they had to go see, who was trying to kill Paul Atreides. And he was like a general. So he was sitting back, standing there. He didn't say a word. And eventually, when they did the scene where the black guy had to they did the scene where they had to jump on their little machines or whatever, like they was looking in. It was wartime. It's way to the end of the movie, and the black guy jumped on there. And so when all the other white people was jumping on the machine, they had they shot. They had they shot. They had they shot. When the black guy got on the machine, they cut from his ass. They went to another scene, and then when they came back to it, which I was happy, they cut back to the black guy for a few seconds they had cut away from earlier, and then they moved away. You like, what the fuck is he talking about? I don't even know this goddamn movie. I was 11. So whoever old you was, you probably never even heard of this shit. But they doing another version of this movie I'm talking about, and it's coming out within the next 9 to 6 months. So you'll be hearing it. It's called Dune. They've been working on that bitch for a minute. You probably would have already seen it. But with the pandemic, they're probably trying to hold back with that movie so that they can make a big ass hit on the money when the country open back up. But that movie I watched again because it was big and my old man told us about it and everything about the movie and all about the different planets and what the planets meant about today. I was a kid back then, but I just remember it, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to holler at y'all about that, but you do recognize the blacks in the movies. You recognize how they treat the blacks in the movies and things of that nature. Normally in our films, as blacks, we don't do that. Even in Black Panther, they didn't do that with that black guy. The white guy, they had that guy be like, he didn't even have to go to war. He went and sat in the damn main office with the rest of the young girl. They didn't even kill him off like they do in most horror films. They supposed to kill the black person first. That's like a known factor in filmmaking. You know what I'm saying? Like you put the black actor in there, and everybody stick to it. Even Spielberg, he did shit in Jurassic Park. Like it's a part of how filmmaking go, and you do this shit unspoken. Like nobody says, "Hey, did you kill the black guy first?" No, it's like you've been watching the game, you watch how it go, and you're like, "Okay, this is what I do." So, that being said, it's Happy New Year. I'm gonna probably try to blog again with y'all a little later on. I'm talking my shit. I'm swallowing my spit. I'm kicking it with y'all because I like to talk this shit. And this is my free zone right here, man. I also got Hood Films TV. I got Hood Films Magazine. I got You're Already a Filmmaker. I got a comedian trapped in a filmmaker. I got Content Compound. I got the Hustle Awards. These are all brands that I own, that I spend time with on a daily basis, trying to create more stuff for and putting up shit for. So my products is in Walmart.com. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, you definitely support it. And I'm gonna ask you to hit that like button and kick it with me because I appreciate you. And let me know in the comments if you made it all the way back to the end of this part of this video. Get at me because I want y'all to know that I'm a dope artist. I've been putting my fucking time into this shit for decades. I ain't never stopped since I was in my 20s. And I did all kind of shit to get into this game. And God blessed me into it. And he keeping me here right now today. I'm alive. I'm well. I got my brand shirts. Look, here, hold up. Let me let y'all see the back now. You ain't seen the back. See the back of it? That's my trademark. That's what it says. Don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to try to let y'all see it. If you can read that. I can't see for you. You got to see for yourself. So right there, what that says is Hood Films, which is production and distribution of television shows and movies. That's what my trademark is. That's exactly what I own. So I wanted to make sure y'all see that so you know that I'm official and I'm real. That's actually what the trademark is. What this circle is what those little small words are at the bottom. So that being said, I do production and distribution of television shows and movies. And that's exactly what I do here. So all the time I'm thinking of new ones to try to present to y'all. My newest one is called Killer Rapper. It's at my website, which is hoodfilms.com. Go there. You can see my clothing at the front, at the top. Scan down a little bit. You'll be able to rent the movie right there. It's cold. It's my best work right now to date. 40-some actors. All professional, all over Chicago. We hit the nail on the coffin with this. And I want y'all to go and definitely go see my movie and support. Definitely become a member. Definitely continue to support me. Help me build this brand up to where we need to get to. Yeah, I do smoke and drink a little bit. It's fun to me. I work for myself. I don't have to piss test. I told my father when I was a kid, like, I'm not piss testing with no damn body. Are you crazy? Tupac said, fuck, smoke till I'm blitz, fuck a motherfucking piss test. I never looked back when I heard those lyrics. All right, I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all day. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for smoking and drinking and kicking it with your boy Yusef Hood. Thank you for watching this video. Check me out on hoodfilms.com. Check us out at walmart.com. If you haven't already heard, we got the clothing line. This right here, shirts just like this, on walmart.com. You can go to walmart.com and hit the search thing up there and look up Hood Films, and we're going to pop up. We also got a store on amazon.com where you can go there and check us out on Amazon. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for kicking it with me. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to be back on here a little later on today, talking some more stuff or something like that, kicking it with y'all again. And yeah, because I'm watching more movies. Every time I watch a movie, I get on here and I talk to you about it. You know, I was about to do one about that cartoon Soul. I had just recently saw that cartoon Soul. It went in some directions that I didn't like, so that's why I didn't really start talking about it. It was like some, I don't know, it's just weird to me. Again, I can tie that into the black experience. It's like I watch all these cartoons because I had a little kid that's grown up now. But it's like this cartoon was weird because when it came on, the guy went straight to death. Like the cartoon character died and then was built not like a cartoon character. So half the movie, the character was like a little, I don't know, a drip or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was like, huh? I wasn't expecting that because it's like a man character animation. That was the person that they using for the advertising. So, but he's not even in the movie for a long time. So it's like, That's what made me lose interest of it, because it was like, come on, I wasn't trying to see this corny shit. But that's for me to talk shit about and let y'all watch that in another video in the future. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the bell so you can holler at me in the future when I do more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being down with your boy Yusef Hood Films. And I'm out. Happy New Year.